You're gonna start talking and then be like, introduce yourself, Jack, or what?
No, we're already recording.
Oh, okay.
I just kind of hit the trigger on it and do like the Joe Rogan, like, let's just continue in and see what we got,
Jump
y'all.
in on it. All
But
right.
Word.
anyway, what's up, y'all? We're back to episode 15, right?
15, yes, sir.
I should really keep track of those a little bit more. I
It'll
fucking
never
am the
happen.
one who posts them all the damn time.
It won't happen.
Dude, so like I had an Instagram post the other day where like I put episode 5 and it was like episode 13 or something.
Yeah, it was episode
just
13, and for some reason you put like 3 different posts up saying it was 5.
different
I was like, what
episodes
the
and
fuck's
shit,
going
dude.
on
Just
here?
just not proofreading my shit, bro. Fucking whatever. But anyway, it's episode 15. We're back. I'm Silly Willy Spilly. This is fucking Alex the Phallic and our special guest, Small Stack Jack. Probably the only man that has a smaller dick than I do.
Oh, let's
So-
get into it.
Welcome, Jack. How you feeling today?
Well, my tiny wiener did get a little hard while you were talking about it.
Oh.
So I went 6 to midnight quick, but
Six to
feeling good.
midnight.
Thanks for having me, boys. You know, this is gonna be a fun little time chatting with some homies.
Yeah, it should be a real good time. So,
Absolutely.
well, what you got going on? Introduce yourself a little bit to the people who might not yet know you. A lot of the people that listen to us are from Cincinnati, so you're obviously from Nashville, Tennessee. I've talked about you and your brothers and some of our other family throughout the podcast that we have done. So, give us a little introduction here, homie.
Right on. Well, yeah, my name's Jack. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I've lived in Middle Tennessee since I was 13, so 20 years ago. I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, but although I'll still always mention that, I definitely am much more influenced by Middle Tennessee. I've been here, so. But yeah, I just moved to Nashville from Clarksville, which is where I went to college. I've been in Nashville now for like 9 months. It's been fucking amazing. This city really is super beautiful. If you're into electronic music or country music, really any kind of music.
It's the music city, bro. Like,
Yeah,
it's any
it's-
type of music. Yeah.
It's honestly just so much fun, you know, and especially since I'm so into electronic music, obviously the scene here is like probably top 5 in the country.
Yeah.
It's so good. So
Have you ever seen the who is it? I think it's Bon Iver or whatever. Is he from Nashville?
I don't know. Actually, I've never really seen him live though. No.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure it was him who fucking. I saw like a post that he had or something, and it was like, if you're trying to get into the music industry, Nashville is the absolute last place that you should go because it's just so saturated down there. There's
Super
so
saturated.
many fucking artists down there, and so many
Yeah,
people that are moving down there. And especially with LA being the way it is now, where people are just like fucking done with that area. Like Nashville and like Austin and those type of places are just going to start booming even more. So,
Yeah, for sure.
And,
It is funny. Like
Oh.
if I'm like using like
move your
Any kind
camera up, bro, so we see your actual
my bad.
face. Yeah.
any kind of a dating profile app or something, everybody I talk to is like, "Oh yeah, I'm a singer. I write lyrics. Or I play
Yeah.
guitar." It's like everybody is just like, if you're matching people in Nashville, they're all like, I don't know, pretty cookie cutter what you'd expect for a girl to look like. Sometimes it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
They all wear the same hats. I swear.
Do what?
They all wear the same hats. I
The
swear.
same hats? Yeah, for sure, man. There's a lot of it, especially when you get some of like the tourists and stuff like that. Like I saw that meme that just became popular because like you guys have got worse snow than we have, being like, what is
Yeah.
it, 400 miles or something like that down south?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have got more, and there's that famous meme of the like chicks in just skimpy ass dresses just walking through the snow. It
Right.
says "Meanwhile in downtown Nashville," and I'm like being down
Wow.
there, I can tell that is definitely a real thing.
Yeah, and the city doesn't stop. Like all through COVID, like nothing's really changed. Like they set limitations, but like Nashville kind of gave a big fuck you. Dude. They were on the news for the Fashion House party. I was at that fucking party. You can literally see my face in this picture. There was like 1,000 people 3 months after fucking COVID happened, and like it was just, I don't know. It was incredibly irresponsible for me to be there, but I still think it's cool. But-
owning up to it now. Hey, fuck it, you know.
I mean, dude, I've been a big proponent. Like, when it first popped off, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should fucking be a little bit laid back about this shit. But after like a month or two, I'm like, this is just like a fucking flu virus. I'm like, I don't give a fuck anymore. We went to a show, a Dirt Monkey and fucking, Zeke Beats and Space Wizard show, and like I started walking up and everyone's putting their mask on. I was like, oh shit, I didn't bring a mask. And my boy Miller was like, I got one in the car if you want it. And I was like, dude, I'm just going to walk in. Trust me, I'll be fine. And like, they were astounded that I had walked in there. Like, they didn't say a fucking word to me. And they were like, how did you do that? I was like, man, I've been doing this everywhere I go. If it isn't Chipotle or Panda Express, they fucking let you walk in without a mask. It's ridiculous, but whatever. I'm going to do it.
Bro, it's like that. There's fucking 30 minutes, 30 minutes west of me, Ashland City, where I grew up. Like, dude, it's like Freedom County, dude. They don't wear masks there. You can't make them wear masks there. Like, literally nowhere. It's just like, it's like they don't, it's like they're not a part of like mainstream society. It's crazy.
But that's like Bible Belt type area and shit, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, those are like the fucking hardcore Catholics and shit like that. Like, we're still going to church. I don't have to wear a mask.
Yeah, you can't tell them nothing. You literally can't tell them a fucking thing.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, I think a lot of places like they'll have like their signs like, "Hey, wear a mask." But there's not many places like forcing it. Actually, like they're not going to yell at you. A lot of places, I feel like.
Hey, y'all's audio is cutting out.
Cutting
out.
It
got really low. Like I can hardly hear you.
Did I just jump up and down on mine?
No.
Oh wait, is it?
No, it's working just fine on ours, but
it just sounded better like for a second.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's coming through just fine on our end. So as long as you can hear us now, can you still hear us?
Yeah, it's way better now. It got better.
Okay. It's probably just cutting out. It'll do that a lot. When we did the Kunkamolar episode or shit, whatever, we did that on Skype as well, and there were like times where like he lagged, and we just had to wait and have him re-say it. I mean, we're streaming this on the internet from a fucking 400 miles away and shit like that, so it's gonna have a couple issues. But
get a better computer, pussy.
But yeah, back to the fucking thing that I was saying before.
You know, I've seen every one of your episodes, so I got to be one of your biggest fans. I just finished 14 today, so I've seen them all.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest,
has to be the number one fan.
You're not the number one fan, dude. I'm sorry, but like Kunkamolar, Stolzy, and fucking Lou Durbin, who probably will be our next guest because he has to be on it too. They they listen to everything the day it comes out and shit like that, and like so we've really done a good job of getting like the people who support it the most to actually be on the episodes now that we're doing this new little scenario that we
now that we're actually having people on. Yeah, hey, if you're a big listener, that's the perks of being a big listener. You get to come join the show.
Yeah, bro.
So that's how you guys advertise it.
Yes,
it is, dude. I mean, we're trying to. The whole idea that we had for like introducing people was just introducing it to new audiences, because like Kunkamolar's episode or whatever, it had more views than the episode we did before that in one day. It had twice as many views in one day, and it was just because he's been to fucking Clarksville, Tennessee, he's been to fucking Hawaii, and he can spread that around to more people and a bigger fan base. This one, you're probably going to share it around down in Tennessee, and it should have the same effect that way. So we're looking for growth. If you are watching the video, I do need to tell you, hit that share button. Likes are great, but like sharing helps it grow a lot more than liking does. So please share this bitch around. We're trying to go somewhere with this shit. If that's the case too, why don't you talk a little bit about like what you're doing music wise down in Nashville and stuff like that, bro?
All right. Yeah, it's funny. You know, I recently got back into writing a lot, like this past year. You know, that was like a huge passion and an outlet of mine for a long time. And that's kind of led me into starting to write little rhymes and stuff, which is funny now because I don't produce when it comes to electronic music. I just mix. That's it. But now I kind of feel like a real artist because here I am with all these half-finished projects everywhere. It cracks me up. I feel just like, I don't know, heard Lou and Ish talk about that shit all the time. It's so funny.
Yeah, man.
But outside of that, what? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say last night our cousin Rachel came over with her boyfriend, and like spontaneously we were talking about like MIDI controls and doing something. And I was like, you know, I've got a setup right in my studio over here. I was like, we could make a beat right now. And Rachel and Matt were just like, fuck it. We sat here for 5 hours last night and just got drunk and made a fucking beat, dude. And it actually sounded pretty fucking legit. It's beginner shit though, so we probably won't ever release it, and it'll be one of those things that's just like practice. But like, we actually sat there and put the work in, dude. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Dude. Yeah, that's tight. That's tight. Did you listen to Lou's new track?
Yeah, I did, bro. It's sick. I listen to Ishes too. I like Ishes a little bit more, dude. I'm a sucker for Sierra though. I
I
can't
mean,
lie.
yeah, Sierra's so dope, and that's like one of my favorite Sierra tracks. That Lunaverse goes so hard in it. Oh, it's so.
Her best track is what's that fucking old popular like what DJs would play? It's like a song. Why don't you stop it? Everybody get on the floor. Tell somebody about it. We about to get it on. Let me see you.
1 2 step.
I love it when you
1 2 step.
That song, bro. That's a jam.
That's a good
That's
one.
nice.
Hey, what
That's
about
sexy, baby.
Fucking Freak a Leak with fucking what's his name? God damn. What is it? PD Pablo. Freak a Leak. That's that
I
track.
don't even know what
Petey
you're
Pop,
talking about, dude.
motherfucker.
What? Dude, yeah, you don't know what I'm talking about? Freak a
I
Leak
don't
with
know what
Sierra?
you're talking about.
Fucking- Oh, god damn it, dude. There's this one line and it cracks me up, dude. Fucking, what does he say? Stavi would rip it right now. It was so fucking good, but, oh, fuck. I wish I remember what the fuck it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
But yeah,
you
it's
did.
a good one. It's one of my favorite Sierra tracks. That was, in case you guys didn't understand where I was coming from on that. Yeah, Petey Pablo.
Dude, fucking Jack's looking like a goddamn crackhead moving around so much with the fucking computer
No,
up
I'm
there,
just
bro.
chilling on my bed.
Yeah.
I'm not even wearing pants. You know, this is great.
Ooh,
Yeah.
just boxering this thing, or are we straight commandoing this right now?
No, yeah. No, the dick's covered. You know,
Okay,
I have a 7
okay.
running around in an extra.
Don't want to give the
But
people
yeah,
a
if I
free
don't gotta wear
show.
pants, I'm not wearing them. The only reason I'm wearing a shirt is because I want to be somewhat presentable.
That's fair.
Somewhat presentable, dude. Yeah, I mean, you're never going to pull a legendary move like my first year at Bonnaroo not putting a shirt on for 4 days straight.
Did you get sunburnt?
Oh, hell yeah. dude.
I mean, that
But,
sounds awful.
but at the same time, like, if you go to fucking music festivals with, like, us especially, like, the real party happens at nighttime. Like, the night owls come the fuck out, dude. Like, we're up till, like, 4 or 5 in the morning. I'm still just cooling without a shirt, dude. It's probably... That year, though, it was, like, one of the hottest ones y'all had, wasn't it? It was, like, in the 90s the whole weekend and just sun beating down.
Was that 2018?
I believe it was 2018. Yeah, it might have been 2017. No, it was 2018 because 2017 was Bunbury when you introduced me to Bass Nectar for the first time.
That's right, bro.
Yeah, bro.
You're welcome.
Yeah, dude, thank you. Because now I'm in the game, out here mixing and shit. We're working on a new mixtape, putting songs together last night. It's fucking,
That's
it's
right.
going
Everything.
down, bro. It really is, man. Yeah, we got fucking big things coming, and I know you got shit planning down there for like live shows and stuff like that. Y'all started that little like Wubs thing that you have going on, and that's done nothing but expand. And now that they're kind of like laxing up on like actual restrictions for COVID and shit, you guys should be able to make some serious moves next year. Yeah.
For sure. I think we're gonna forego anything in the spring. It's already really saturated with the homie events down here.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I'm respected in the community, I'm gonna try not to step on toes anywhere I can, you know? Like
Right.
so basically I'm gonna support my homies festivals by actually attending instead of planning events that's gonna pull from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like I'm gonna shoot for a bigger event in summer. Hopefully we can find a good venue we like. We're gonna go back to Erin, Tennessee, where we did Wubs by the Pool at some point, but we have some work to do on that land. We're gonna make it basically just more friendly for people who come. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the venue is going to be a big thing because as much as I do love that little setting that you had over there in Erin, Tennessee, it was out in the fucking sticks,
Just
hard
boonies.
life. Nobody had fucking cell phone service at
No
all.
service.
I was trying to live stream like the entire event. Like we had like 8 artists and stuff, and I was gonna live stream all of them, and like the internet was such an issue that I was like, I'm not even gonna try to do this right now. Like it's just it's too much. But
Yeah, for sure.
and that's the thing about finding venues and stuff. Like, there's a place that just opened up. I'm not sure if it just opened up in Newport, or if it's been there and they just had like the EDM artists start coming and shit like that. But they had their New Year's event, which was like Arm & Hammer and shit like that, and apparently the Car Barn or whatever at 11 o'clock when it was supposed to be curfew or whatever, because he's playing till like midnight or something like that. And no, it was at midnight when the show was supposed to end. They're like, they got a call and they got a noise ordinance. They're like, you need to turn it the fuck down because they were just blaring fucking PK sound. So they turned the bass off for like the last half an hour of the show. And then they had that Dirt Monkey show that I talked about before that was scheduled to go there, but they had so many issues with the venues.
What are you laughing about?
Laughing at him fucking delaying like this, dude.
I was about to start talking sexy to you.
Oh, dude, it's paint me like one of your French girls type of pose.
Yeah, really. But yeah, they had to completely. What was that?
I might show a little nipple later.
Dude, you go ahead and show some fucking nipple, bro. I already told Harmeyer this might be the most like homo episode that we've ever done. It really might, dude.
Hey, but, man, I present myself to all comers, you know?
Yeah.
Holes is...
What was that? You lagged out there for a second.
Holes is holes.
Holes is holes. Okay, Jack. This motherfucker.
Put that on the man's gravestone. Holes is holes, baby.
Yeah. God,
shit!
This is going everywhere.
I think just because, I'm not somebody, I don't really listen to any EDM music, Jack. As much as I know is just from what Keith and Miller have talked about around me. My favorite part, and you kind of got into it before, is the names of some of these people. Like you guys are talking Space Monkeys, Zonky Donks, Lights in the Bing Bang Booms. What is your performing name? Is that what you would call it? Your DJ name? Yeah. What's your DJ name?
So I have like 5, but my 2 most popular are Crop Top, in which I literally don a crop top during my sets, and White Zen, which is like Crop Top's really like more aggressive, like underground electronic music, basically dubstep, whereas White Zen is more laid back, kind of like chiller vibes, which is a lot of fun to do just because not everyone always wants to fucking go hard and fucking headbang. Sometimes people want
just
to
vibe
back
music.
Some wine.
Dude,
Yeah.
There was one day where he sent me like all the different personas that he had planned. This was before he started DJing. My favorite one was DJ Dumpster Trash, bro, or some shit like that.
DJ Basement Trash. I still do DJ Basement Trash. That's my persona when I do parties like tonight. So I'm gonna be Basement Trash tonight.
Basement Trash.
It's just like that one's
amazing.
just like a live performance, like in someone's basement, like a homie party type thing.
Yeah, and like I always go by Basement Trash when I prepare this little. That way, if I suck, it's like, well, that was Basement Trash. That wasn't
you got a Basement Trash fucking set.
Yes, people, they can't expect too high of Basement Trash. It's just like whatever.
Yeah, man.
That's actually, that's a great marketing ploy.
That's fucking.
And how long have you been DJing? How long have you been spinning the discs, as we say in the business?
Bro, literally, like, what is it, February 20th? My DJ career started in late September. I went to a drive-in electronics show down here with some homies. We threw this big after party at this dope B&B we were at. And my buddy, he got a little too loose, sort of put it that way, while he was DJing. And in the middle of it, like, I was there, he was like, bro, select tracks for me. I can't even think. And how he was just doing all the transitioning. Eventually, he couldn't even do that. He was like, bro, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. Take over. And that's how my DJ career started.
Jesus.
At his DJ party. Dude, it was terrible. My transitions were so bad, but I was playing bangers, bro.
Bro, I remember he did that, and like they had a show that they were going down there that I was supposed to play at. But it was like legitimately a week after this had happened, and he starts like throwing himself at the beginning of the lineup, and me and his brother Stav are like dude, you need to like chill out, bro. You're not just gonna go up on stage and just start ripping apart tracks and shit like that.
Hey.
And he sent me this video, dude, of him doing this transition. It was like he'd been doing it for like 2 days. He didn't even have a mixer at this point. He was just on his fucking computer. And
on my laptop.
He was on his laptop, and this song was playing, and he just slowly turned up the volume on another track and turned out the other one. He just had his hand on the laptop, just
That's fucking. That's
fucking
DJ
Snapchat.
Basement Trash, baby.
Dude,
That's just getting his.
I texted him right after that. I was like, bro, you didn't do anything right there. You just danced in front of the screen.
The baby steps, bro. Those are the baby steps.
Baby steps. Man. Yeah, man, and you killed it. Your fucking transition from your first mixtape to your second mixtape you did. I called you up immediately after I heard the second mixtape. I was like, dude, that was so much better. So much better. You really started it started clicking with you, I could tell. The other one had a couple ones, but the other one was so vibey too. I love that. Yeah. They're both good, but the fucking second one just way better.
Yeah.
Way
I mean, that's just the full persona of Basement Trash. That's like, you started out as Basement Trash, and when you finish your DJing, like when you're at the top of your game, you're like Penthouse Sex,
but it was
your
a
name
crop
or something.
Top. It was
like, that would be awesome if you're like, yes, you transitioned your name with how much better you're getting at DJing.
Yeah. It's like the evolution. Like I'm a Pokemon.
Yes. Your Charizard is Penthouse Sex.
Have you ever heard about Jack? Have you ever heard about
water on my laptop?
Have you ever? Jesus, a fucking mess, dude. I knew this was gonna be a hell of a podcast. But have you ever heard my idea for like doing a stage thing? Where like I got the idea from someone told it to me, but we were talking about LS Dream when we went to see the Wakan tour or whatever, and like he was spinning these tracks, man, and like all of a sudden he starts getting really weird on stage and like starts slowly backing up, and he just puts his hands out like this, and like the back of him just irradiated it out with these like fucking LED fucking like aura type shit on the visuals behind him. And I was like, what I'm gonna do is right before a drop, I'm just gonna step back and just fucking get my and like the fucking Dragon Ball Z swooshes just come up in the background, bro.
That'd be tight.
That'd be tight. That'd be real tight.
That's my contribution. I want that on.
Was that you?
I want that on record.
Sense.
As I don't know much about EDM, but goddamn it, I'm a good ideas guy. And sometimes you'll be like, "Wow, that sounds really stupid," and then you'll kind of think about it and be like, "Hold on, now this might make sense."
Was it one of our early podcasts that you had the fucking DJnames.com idea?
Yeah, DJnames.com. Yeah, I'm sure Jack remembers as somebody who's listened to all these episodes. Yeah, I was gonna buy that domain, and then people were gonna pay me like a quarter to get a DJ
penny stocks. Like legitimate penny stocks, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's like a penny for DJ name, but there's so many out there that he's just gonna fucking buy all of them.
Yeah, if you ever want the name, because I already said the name Penthouse Sex, it's trademarked now. If you ever want to use that, you could just, it's 10 cents.
That's actually a dope fucking, that'd be like a really cool like mixtape or album name.
Penthouse Sex.
Yeah.
Well, I just trademarked those two words together. Nobody else is allowed to use them without paying me.
Sorry, that is a really good idea, but I gotta, I don't know. I like the Crop Top Confessions namesake that I'm doing.
Yeah, Crop Top and White Zen is so funny.
Yeah. They're
really actually, both mixtapes are at a race to 3,000 plays right now. It looks like White Zen's gonna win, but it was out like a month and a half earlier. So.
Yeah. And it was like your first mixtape and shit like that, so people are gonna fucking go watch it just because of that. Like, let's see what he's got type thing. So
I fucking have gotten ridiculously good response from Crop Top Confessions. Like, I still I got a message today from someone who found it. Was like, yo, let me get a track list. Like, I love how much people resonated with that mix.
Yeah. Are you one of those guys who share your tracks pretty openly? Because your brother Stav's a little fucking hoe when it comes to sharing fucking tracks. He doesn't do it with me, but like he doesn't like sharing tracks, and he'll say it straight up. Right. Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable keeping tracks to myself. Like, I feel like if I really like a track, I like to share it for the artist. Like, it should be heard more. So yeah, I fucking shout it from the rooftops, man. Like, my whole goal, I think is to help all these really talented get their sound heard. So like, that's just one way I go about doing it.
For sure. I've told people like you can have my tracks, bro. Just make sure that you tell people that you got that track from me, because that is like a thing. Sure. Like I would think that me, you, and like Justin, when it comes to that type of stuff, we have superior song selection as compared to being like, well, he's a very technical DJ, but me and you, like, we're not as technical, but our song selection like bangs the fuck out. So
for sure.
Yeah. So I want people to know that like I'm out there finding those fucking tracks. But go ahead and take it. It's not my track. I just want to play it first, and then after that you can have it.
Yeah, I'll do that sometimes. Like if I like, I didn't share any of those tracks that I played in my inner space. Those ones that I found, I like kept all those until I played that. Then I started sharing them. But yeah, it's fun to have like those tracks no one's ever heard. Dude, my opener, like, bro, the only people that fucking heard that were like people I showed it to. It was really cool.
Do you remember when are you talking about the second or first mixtape?
No, I'm talking about Interspace when I opened up with that "Are You That
Oh.
Somebody" flip, going into that fucking big fax track, dude. That shit was so dope.
I'm not sure if I remember. I'll have to rewatch that one over though. But you were slanging tracks that entire time. You really were.
Yeah.
You were feeding the fucking people.
That is interesting. As somebody who doesn't listen to EDM very much, it's very interesting that everybody the community always kind of shares stuff with each other and lets everybody kind of get in on it. It's kind of cool.
That's one thing about the EDM community that is a lot better in my opinion than most other music industries out there, is the ability to like share music and stuff like that. Like people are out there just playing live shows, just slinging other people's tracks around everywhere, and it's not like that anywhere else. You'll get in trouble for doing that.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, so that's one good thing about the EDM community that I really like. It is a really loving community and shit like that too. It's a pretty good thing if you can get past the music, and like we obviously love it, but like I do understand why people don't really fuck with the music all that much.
Bro, I can get anybody to like EDM. All they have to do is come to a festival with me. I will get you in my mode with me. I promise I will have you dancing. I will have you fucking... Dude, there's something about it when you just tap into that like ancient primal self, and it's just like, dude, the beat of the drums around a fucking fire.
Some people aren't like that, dude. I
No,
know people
bro,
around
everyone
here
has-
from Cincinnati that would have
every single
nothing
human
to
being
do with
has
that.
They just don't know how to access it. I
Nah.
promise you.
No,
I
see,
promise you, every single human being.
I've always been of the mind. So I'm a person who, if we're going out and having a good time, I'm bound to get
Yeah.
rowdy no matter
But you're
what.
one of those
You could
people-
have jazz in the background, and I'd be like, if we're slinging drinks, let's fucking run. So
Yeah.
I'm a bad example because I can just have fun just about everywhere. So
No, yeah, exactly.
I'll
a
hit
good
that
example
beat.
would be like a Who song. Like
yeah, I mean, there's definitely
no
people.
way in
so
hell
I feel
you
like
could get him to enjoy an EDM.
I feel like people who are much more into like the country scene, like they like the like 90s country, like the old style or like super old rock and roll type of stuff. I feel like those might be harder to change the minds of.
Nah, I don't think that, because that's where me and him come from is like old school oldies rock and roll type shit.
I guess that's true.
not country music, but no, people, if you ask me, that's the best era of music of all time, like 60s and 70s rock and roll, like just greatest music of all time.
Okay. Then I was wrong there. But yeah, I feel like the big country nuts.
Yeah.
Those might be the hardest
They
to
want
turn
nothing
in
to do.
terms of that.
Dude, there's so many people who, like, back in the day where would go to like country concerts and shit like that, and they'd be like, I'd ask them, I'm like, why do you go to fucking country concerts? And they're like, dude, we go there for the girls, like cowboy boots and fucking flannels and shit like that. And I was like, you can go to any fucking show and see hot women. If I'm paying $40 to go to a fucking show, I want to see good fucking music. I want to see, I fucked my sister down by the creek.
That I don't know if that's in anybody's
That's an actual
songs.
song. That's
Luke Combs.
I don't know if that's a legitimate song. See, I liked country concerts because I am a humongous tailgating person. So if somebody's like, hey, come to this open field and drink with background music for like 5 hours, go ahead and you count me the fuck in. So
Jack, are you pissing on camera right now?
ladies and gentlemen, the very first pee on Your House Our Rules.
You gotta
In
be
exclusive content.
fucking-
Exclusive content. That's hilarious. I was wondering, I saw you opening up doors. I'm like, where is he moving to? And then I just heard the trickling noise. I'm like, oh no.
You were doing it, bro. He got up, and the second he got up, I was like, this motherfucker is about to piss on camera. And you were
was so
talking, I
good.
see him just standing there in the mirror, and I'm like, this is really fucking happening right
That's
now.
amazing.
Dude. Oh, Jesus Christ. I love you, bro. I'm not sure. Are you okay with keeping that?
Hey, I'm fine with keeping that. That's extremely funny.
That's hysterical, bro.
There was nothing on there. I could have been playing an audio file of someone peeing.
No one knows. Dude, it's just
That's
weird.
true. That's true.
It's just weird.
That's funny.
Oh well, if you got to get it out, you got to get it out.
How long have you been listening to EDM? Has it been like a very long time, or is the entire EDM kind of a new thing for you?
No, man. I got into it, I guess, when I was in college, like 2007.
Okay.
Funny enough, Adult Swim, like their commercials late at night, they would always have EDM going in like the transitions between shit. That's how I originally found like Flying Lotus and Mount Eden. And those were like really the artists that got me into it. I found Bass Nectar in 2010, 2011, the first New Year's Eve show he did in Nashville, and that was like when it really got me like super hooked. And man, I've just been like literally addicted to festivals and electronic music ever since. The whole scene is just so much fun and liberating. People are just okay being who they are, which is, you know, very inspiring in itself.
Right.
But yeah, it's just been, so it's been ever since. I still love hip hop. I still love rock. Not a big fan of modern rock at all. Really anything after the mid 2000s. Not a huge fan. But
it can be all right.
Right.
You're right though. It's kind of rock and roll has been slacking for a while.
For sure. Like there's no band that I know of that I really just enjoy like I used to like have a shit ton, you know?
Yeah. I mean, maybe if you start getting into metal a little bit, that they might be a little bit better, but it's been a while since I've listened to that type of music. I still like it, but when I'm listening to rock and roll and shit like that, it's all old school music and stuff like that. Like me and Max will get on these little fucking rampages of rock and roll where it's like it's like Mudvayne, System of a Down, fucking shit, Korn, shit like that, dude. It's just crazy.
Bro, I still get like when I need a good fucking workout jolt and my normal mixtapes aren't doing it, I still go back to Deftones and Korn.
The best concert I've ever been to this day, fucking Slipknot at Riverbend, dude. It was absolutely crazy. I almost got kicked out when they played their fourth encore and they played Duality. I waited for that the entire time, and like Josh had these work fucking tickets though, like you know.
Oh yeah, you guys had good tickets.
Yeah, you know the Riverbend. They
have
like that intersection where like it's standing, and then they have like a small row of seats right by that pit. And then there's a middle section, and then there's an outer section, and then there's the lawn. We were in that middle section, which is apparently all like VIP seating up in the front row of that middle section. So I was like on the railing, like headbanging and jumped over into the catwalk and shit. There's an usher right next to us. He was like, you need to chill the fuck out and get off the railing or I'm kicking you out. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, but I'm getting this right now. You can fuck off. Like, I was just getting it, dude. I missed work the next day because my neck hurt so bad from headbanging at that show, dude.
God.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah, Slipknot.
One of my favorite rock concerts ever was Korn. Me and my Stavi came and picked me up from football practice. I had a game the next day. Had to lie to my coach to get out of fucking our walkthrough that night. Bro, went to this Korn concert, and me and Stavi got separated at one point and then heard this track we had been chasing. We'd seen Korn like 4 times. And I found this motherfucker, and he was, what's the term for it when you're on the top of the crowd? Fucking crowd surfing.
Oh, yeah.
Crowd surfing. Bro, he crowd surfed all the way to the front, and they let him, like, you know, they just, like, set him down, and he comes back to where he were, and then they fucking let my big ass do it. So I got to crowd surf at a Korn concert. That was really cool. That's dangerous wild. As shit. Like, almost dropped me twice.
Oh,
like,
no. That's one thing. I've crowd surfed before, and people love doing it. I used to go to Warped Tour, and like people would just do it for fun and shit. Like just start throwing bodies for no reason at all and stuff like that. But when you get there, like to the end of it, and you're getting handed to like the ushers and stuff and the security, it's like I've seen a lot of people get dropped on their fucking head. And like, I remember one time I was at Warped Tour, and this was when I was like 13, 14 years old or something. And there was this girl who got done crowd surfing, got dropped on her head, and was like convulsing on the fucking side and shit like that. It was really, really bad.
You went to Warped Tour when you were that young?
Damn.
Oh yeah, dude. Warped Tour was my first ever music experience from live music was actually Steve Miller Band when I was like real little, like 10 years old. Looking back on it, hell of a fucking introduction to live music, bro. Steve Miller Band. You can even get behind some Steve Miller, dude.
Yeah, I can rock with that.
Yeah, but after that, I started going to Warped Tour because I was in that band or whatever with Roman, and that was back in like 7th, 8th grade when I really first started getting into like actual band music and stuff. Not just playing guitar. So like, yeah, we were really into Warped Tour and tried to play that type of music, and like, so we would go all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, and Warped Tour's gone now. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
It's a damn shame, man.
Yeah,
I mean, we're seeing the transition of like large scale events like that anyway. Like, who knows what's going to happen like post COVID if some of these bigger festivals are going to continue doing things the way they did. I hope so. I've still got a ticket to Electric Forest. They just keep pushing it back a year. So like,
they've got 3 3 dates that they have lined up for Electric Forest this year. 1 in the original date in June, and then 2 in August. So
Right.
I honestly do not foresee us going back to any large music events this year for sure. And like you said, with everything that's happened with COVID, like it might have just changed the game up completely. I don't know if we're going to even start seeing shit like that anymore. Not at least the same way that it was. And to be completely honest, man, like those camping festivals, like we've been to Bonnaroo, it's fucking disgusting out there by day 4, bro. It really is. I get sick every time I go to one of those big festivals. Every time.
Bro, yeah. It's a commitment, dude. Like I always come back with battle scars.
Oh yeah, Wook flu is definitely a thing. You go and you get sick afterwards every time.
Well,
Oh, really?
people out there doing weird stuff like boofing each other. They need Jesus, is what they need.
They do need some Jesus. Don't be stealing my lines either, motherfucker. I will come down to Cincinnati or to Tennessee and slap you.
Jesus, but that's no longer, acceptable in the community, unfortunately, because he's another one of these fucks who does crazy shit. People just getting canceled left and right, man.
Who are you talking about?
Space Jesus.
Space Jesus. Oh yeah. See, I've heard a little bit about those Space Jesus like sexual accusations and shit like that, and I don't know about him. That's a little. I think he might deserve that one a little bit.
Yeah. There's some. Yeah, there's some fuck shit in there for sure.
There's some fuck shit.
There's not a. I mean, just judging by your stories that you've had at Bonnaroo and any other events like that, I mean, there isn't Jesus in sight within miles of that place. There isn't a sign of Jesus.
Do you remember at Bonnaroo that one? Do you remember Dan, dude, the finger walking dude?
Yeah,
he could dance his ass off. We met this dude named Dan from Alabama, and he was this really cool dude. We chilled with him the whole weekend. He had some serious dance moves. He did this like finger dancing thing where like it was legit as fuck when he did it. It was so cool. But I remember there was one point in there where he's like, man, I just thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ every day that I even have the opportunity to go there. And I was like, you know what, dude? I was like, not really my pace, but fucking what gets you through the day, what's making you fucking have such a good time with us? Hell yeah, dude, let's get it. So it is there, but for the most part, and people are more concerned about just getting fucked up and listening to music at music festivals.
I go for the music and to party my ass off.
Yeah,
I go to not have to worry about my kid. I fucking make sure he's taken care of for the week, and then I'm just like full send at a festival. I'm like the purest form of who I am as a human being.
It's you get to those festivals and shit, and the beasts come out and shit. It's you gotta go hard. In a friendly way. Like I'm like the nicest guy there, but like. Yeah, I like to get down low. And for sure.
I do need ample dancing space. For sure.
Oh, dude, we clear out fucking like
10 by 10 yards.
Oh no, dude, when we go in with like that crew.
Oh, well, if you have that big of a spot,
it's not even that. Like we're big, but we throw our fucking bodies around, dude. Just like I remember the fucking bass nectar when we came up with the stanky bird for the first time. You just flapping around all through a fucking crowd. It's packed shoulder to shoulder.
I was just thinking about that, dude. I felt so bad because like I was being such a fucking chode. Like I was just so in the moment, but I was being a dick, dude. Like I definitely like should have apologized for like pushing people around. Like I wasn't doing it on purpose. I was just dancing really like emphatically.
I tell people beforehand and stuff like that. I'm like, look, I was like, I'm just gonna say it. You might want to give me some space because I'm gonna be dancing and like I'm a big dude. You might just get trucked, and most people understand because it's like. It's like whatever. I remember that one time though we were at Breakaway and some of your people were like, these people are kind of obnoxious. It was Friday night though. It was the Young Thug and like Future night, and it was just a bunch of fucking young fratty white boys and shit like that. And it was a pretty obnoxious crowd, but like they were like bumping into people and people were getting mad. I was like, stop it. I was like, you're mad about them because of the crowd, not because you're getting bumped into. I was like, how many times have we been the people knocking people over and fucking in the crowd and shit like that? Like, let's calm down on that one.
Yeah, I mean, in a much different setting. I'm always the person, get out ahead of it. Like you said, like, hey, everybody, just letting you know I'm a big person. I'm going to be bumping in a different setting at bars. Before I start trudging through, like before COVID, when it's packed to the nines at any bar and I'm moving through people, I tell people like, hey, unit coming through, like you're gonna get some bumps. Like I'm gonna bump into you. You're probably gonna go flying a little bit here. Just walking through them slow as can be, but people love it. If you just give them the heads up, that's what it's all about.
Dude, I mean, mosh pitting's a huge thing with rock and roll, and like it was huge back when I used to go to Warped Tour and stuff like that. And I have seen like little girls get absolutely trucked in mosh pits. But the thing about it is, you've got like 5 hands in your face helping you up the second you get knocked down. It's one of those things where like people are in there to like hurt themselves and others, but it's kind of like a mutual respect thing.
Everybody just kind of expects it. I don't know. In a mosh pit, Jesus Lord, if I got going in there, I mean, nobody, you got to call in a tow truck to get me out.
You're fucking stupid, bro. I can't stand you. Anyway, speaking of tow trucks, your electric might be out, kind of like Texas.
Oh, dude, sure. Transition, tow trucks, electric, Texas.
Hell of a segue.
Texas,
nothing but good segues over here on fucking Your House, Our Rules.
For anybody not knowing what's going on with Texas, I didn't write down a ton of information, but there was at some point about 15 million people in Texas that did not have power because their entire grid just got shut down, basically, because of ice storms coming in like that. I mean, you guys are in Tennessee. I imagine you didn't have any problems with. I mean, I know you guys had massive storms, snowstorms coming. Did you guys have power outage problems?
Some places, but we're definitely more equipped to deal with this shit than Texas.
Right.
They have zero prep. Dude, it sucks for them, like, legitimately. Like, dude, there was a video going around of this lady. They had like stored a bunch of water in their bathtub because they didn't know if they were gonna have running water, and the fucking bathtub completely froze over. Like, it was that fucking cold consistently. No one could even their houses, like it was just like no space heaters. It's just like fucking nuts. Like, that's like apocalypse shit for a week when you're not prepared. Like, some people have never that in their entire life,
Yeah, but the big thing about it is that why people are so up in arms about it is like they were warned, and this isn't the first time it's happened, maybe not to this extent, but it was like they've recommended like, hey, you should winterize your fucking electrical shit so that you don't have fucking blackouts if it gets the cold as shit. And then it happened, and like millions of people were freezing in their fucking houses over this past week.
I feel like I can't wrap around my brain to Texas having storms, like snow problems.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing about it. Texas, I mean, it's down south and it's usually hot, but the northern part of Texas, which was like the one that was most hit, I thought it got decently cold up in northern Texas. I thought it was weather like, maybe not quite like Midwest, but I'm pretty sure it gets down to like the 40s and shit like that during the winter.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I mean, I'm sure it gets cold, occasionally for that. It's just like the fact that it was cold and like that storm front hit the way it did. It was just like a really weird angle and shit too. But I mean, honestly, this is what's going to continue happening throughout our lifetimes. Like, fucking climate change is fucking real, and the weather's going to get crazier and crazier.
Yeah, and that was the thing that I didn't like about the whole thing. I think it was like the senator, I think they said Abbott. They were trying to blame like the Green Deal and shit for the reasons why, because a lot of their wind turbines and shit froze over or whatever. But only 20% of the power in Texas is from wind turbines. The other 80% is based off like natural gas. They called it thermal, so natural gas and fucking apparently nuclear was fucking put in there too. But like, actually, Texas is like one of the worst for like not having renewable energy. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So
it's a big oil state. What do you expect? They're gonna run on petroleum.
Exactly. But yeah, trying to blame like the Green Deal and shit for shit that you were fucking warned about and that you could have done something about. Like fuck off.
Well, now everybody wants to point a finger at something. It's never. Yeah. It's never your own fault. It's always somebody else's fault.
And the whole thing about fucking Texas randomly getting this below freezing ice storm and shit like that is just more to prove that like the climate is changing. Like, we should do something about it. But no one wants to have that conversation.
It was actually Texas. It was very funny. Senator Ted Cruz. Yeah. He basically after like 2 days of being without power, he just left town. He's like, okay, well, F all of this. Yes.
I saw that.
Yeah, he went to. I think he went to Cancun,
Cancun,
maybe.
he dipped out,
Yeah, he
went
went
to Cancun.
Went to Cancun, and then Twitter bullied him so badly that he came back the next day to Texas. And then in like a big article thing, he blamed his daughters for going to Cancun. It was unbelievable. He was just like, oh, yeah, I mean, I just have 2 girls. They really wanted to go on a vacation. It just so happens that the timing matched up. So, yeah, it was hilarious.
If you're a politician like that, though, that's such a weak excuse.
Oh.
It's your responsibility to be there during these situations.
1,000%.
None of them have good excuses for any of the shit that they do,
Never
but
do.
nothing
No.
changes. It's like no one cares. You can just say whatever you want, and it's just like whatever. You're gonna get reelected anyway, so fuck it.
That is true.
Ridiculous.
There really isn't. There's like zero accountability. I am not a politics person because I feel like it's zero accountability across the board. Doesn't matter what's that. I mean, just you can make empty promise after empty promise, and then nobody cares if you actually back it up. Because the people that hate you will say you're doing nothing, and the people that love you will just be like, "Oh, he's doing everything he can." So I just feel like it's just a door that just keeps swinging back and forth, and it's never going to get fixed.
Politics are absolutely crazy. Well, there was a guy who posted on Facebook. I was reading this morning. Like, it was a wild fucking little scenario that went on, but I got on Facebook and they were talking about the Texas power outages and shit. And the dude posted, he's like, Biden's done absolutely nothing to help Texas. He's like, I know someone who would have. And then like, it just got into this Facebook argument. But one dude made like one small point, and then it turned into people like arguing his point, but they didn't really say anything political. And then it just turned into like straight up, the dude was gay, and it turned into just like straight up homophobic hate towards that person. And it was like very just inhumane, and like was some of the worst shit I've ever seen. Like just legitimately like hating on him for being gay and calling his boyfriend a cuck and shit like that. It was fucking ridiculous, dude.
It was I mean, it's like embarrassing just because we know all these people. We grew up in the same city on the west side of Cincinnati with these people, so it's embarrassing to see and that's, I mean, politics is so, not politics, but like arguing politics has become such a hateful thing.
I know, and it's something that we should be able to talk about and have civil conversations, but never can, because most people aren't educated enough on any topics to actually speak on them, and it just turns into insulting the other person because you don't have anything else to say on that issue.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the biggest problem is that it takes setting aside a person's ego to really like have reasonable discourse where you're open-minded enough to learn anything.
and that's hard for most people to do.
It is. I mean, no one really cares to, every one of us has like ego for a reason, but like some people just let it to where they're way too overconfident in everything. Like they think they're right all the time. And it's just like toxic because it limits your growth entirely anyway as a person. Like you cap your potential by not opening yourself up to new things. So it's shitty to see.
1,000%.
It is shitty to see. It was really shitty to see that this morning, dude. It was not okay. They were all people that I went to school with too. It was just not.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough scene.
One.
Yeah, that does suck, man. That's. I mean, it'd be like that. It's almost like people are more, like they're more willing to be nasty behind a keyboard too, because there's like a lack of accountability. You have this filter, so like you really see people just be fucking straight up nasty, like you said, like shit. I wouldn't say any of that shit. Like I don't know. I guess it's hard to compare myself to what these people are thinking, but like I can't imagine most of them would say it to someone's face. Is my point. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no,
they definitely wouldn't.
There's not many people who can do that.
That's definitely the worst downfall with social media is just keyboard warriors. The people, like you said, they'll get behind it. They'll just spout off about anything they want to spout off about, and there's no accountability. Because at the end of the day, they can just delete it. Honestly, if they wanted to, if they were honestly scared about it, they can delete it and be like, "Oh no, I got hacked. It wasn't me."
And
blah,
unless
blah, blah.
unless they're a position of power, no one's gonna like screenshot that.
Right. Nobody
But
cares.
You can look at like YouTube comments and stuff, and sometimes the YouTube comments are funnier than the actual video and shit like that, just because of how fucking nasty people are to each other. A lot of them are trolls, but some people are dead serious.
Oh yeah, people are just mean.
Those people
dude.
need to get real though. So
And I like trolling people, but like I don't do it like in a bullying way. Like I do it kind of in a fun, jokey way. Like like I love trolling people like actually in person. I don't know if Keith showed you my stupid. I dressed up in this little fucking business. Like not even a shirt. Like I had a fucking Santa tie and a blazer, and went and interviewed people downtown, just like having off the cuff conversations. It was a lot of fun.
It was pretty funny, but I'm definitely a big troll, but a lot of people don't pick up my fucking sarcasm very often. Like, I'm never serious when I'm out there just, like, blatantly insulting people, but some people do take it that way, so I don't know if it's...
Look.
What?
You have, like, a kind of, like, I'm a big guy and I'll talk shit if I want to. Look,
I have that attitude. It's not just my look, but
like,
yeah.
You literally will just mean mug while you like address people, like my buddy Fat Matt does. Whereas me, I'm smiling, so it takes the edge off for people. But you don't do that.
Yeah.
You like, so that's why people take it that way.
It adds to the troll for me though. Like if people think I think that makes me a better troll, but
it makes you a better troll for the people that are in on the joke, for sure.
Yeah,
but the people not in on the joke are like, well, that guy stinks.
Yeah, I know. Maybe one of my downfalls, maybe not. I don't know. But I'm not going to stop trolling people anytime soon. I lay off people a lot more now that I don't know. Like, I always tell people, like, if I'm not insulting you, I don't like you. Like, straight up.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's a playful, like, ribbing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just like a fun way to guys just tend to do that. Like I do that with all my homies, and it's just like kind of pointlessly talk shit to people that I've been friends with my whole life. Like it just I don't know, a way we communicate. That's what we do on text chat.
It really weirds people out though sometimes. Like I think it's like you just said, the way dudes are, but some people don't really see it that way. And I think maybe that comes from our family is really bad about it. Like you go into like our family and it's like immediately when you walk in, like, what up, dickhead? Like no one says hi, no one says I love you. It's like, what up, bitch? Like it's just crazy. But yeah, I do think
you might be right. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
It might be like a family thing because our family is like that. Like they all are. Every one of them.
Every single one of them, dude.
Every single
one of them. Uncle Dwayne.
Get Uncle Dwayne on your podcast. See if you guys.
Bro, I don't think that we could do that. My Uncle Dwayne is like, you think I'm bad? My Uncle Dwayne says some shit.
I've met your Uncle Dwayne a handful of times, so I know, and yeah, I haven't met him enough to know how bad it is, but I've seen enough to where I'm like, okay, I could see that getting out of hand.
Yeah, for sure.
I've seen, you know what? I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Steer clear of talking about our family.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that one because that one's really fucking bad. It was hysterical, but no.
Yeah. But hey, shout out Uncle Dwayne. I love you. You're my dude.
Yeah, I doubt he even knows that I have a podcast, but if you are watching,
might see it, and he deserves a shout out if we're going to talk about him. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Shout out Uncle Dwayne if you're watching.
Shout out to Uncle Dwayne. Speaking of family, Robinhood, another flawless transition.
Another flawless segue here at your house. Our rules. We have really bad.
Maybe I tell you what, our segue transitions. I think we just keep up with them being not making any sense.
Yeah, as long as we keep up with the shit transitions, it's just going to turn into our thing, dude.
Yeah, speaking of families, Robinhood trading application. And we've talked about it on here. I know you're aware, Jack, just from what Keith has told me. So yes, GameStop takes a jump from $4 6 months ago all the way up to $483 at its peak. That was January 28th, and now it's back all the way to $44. They had the Vlad Tenov guy, the CEO. They had a trial yesterday of him basically defending what they did when they halted all the stocks when they got up to 483, and it's up to 90 federal lawsuits against them just because out of nowhere they're just like, oh shit, we're losing our ass, let's stop. Like, I don't want to play the game anymore because they're winning.
Right.
Yeah,
that shit was absolutely insane to watch because I've been in the stocks for like about 3 years now, and this year was like the year I really dove in. But yeah, just to see that happen, like, market manipulation is a thing, fucking do it large scale in groups on Facebook, honestly, and that's basically what happened here at Wall Street Bets. Like, people just were like, hey, do it. And then they did it, and it went up. More people were like, oh shit, we got to buy this. And it just balloons. Like, it's literally, it won't hold value. Eventually that stock will revert back to what it actually is worth when people sell it off. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah,
But
and dude,
above-
you
way to
can
make
watch it. You can watch
Oh,
the
yeah.
people fucking like I got it. You just got me into stocks and shit like that. You can watch the fucking them go up and down, and you can see the dumps and shit like that every time.
yeah.
And like you can tell right up, it's like that's someone who has a shit ton of shares in this that just dumped all their money and is waiting for it to go lower again. So
Yeah.
yeah.
100%. I mean, I do that, but like the thing about it is you have these big misses. GameStop was actually one of my big misses. I almost got into GameStop like December 26th. I was buying in. It was like $20 or $30 a share, and I missed that entire balloon. I fucking passed on it. I remember thinking like, what's GameStop? Why would it shoot up? But I had heard rumblings like in the community. Man, big whiff. Missed out on literally thousands of dollars. It was big. I missed on that one. I made quite a good bit of money on crypto over the past 3 months. I've gotten into day trading it on Coinbase, but day trading also limits my cap sometimes. I actually sold out of 2 altcoins. One's the Graph and one's Bancor Network. Both of them has shot up like over 500% in the past 2 weeks. I think I still made good.
Yikes.
I'm saying like I made good money with them, but I completely limited myself. If I would have left in all my Graph, I bought into the Graph when it was like 2 cents or some shit or 20 cents. And I had like 12,000 of them. If I would have held on to those from 2 cents to jump up to $2.40, what they are right now, like that's a ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
game.
a massive jump.
But hey, what ifs, you know?
Yeah, dude. There's so many. That's why the stock market's so hard to judge. It's just all like Wolf of Wall Street explains it best, where it's just like it's just fugazi. None of it will make sense. Like at the end of the day, it could shoot up, it could shoot down. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
Like and it's fun because I like betting.
Yeah, my mom told me when I was telling her that I'm getting in the stocks and shit. She's like, I got into it a little bit. I got out because I lost a bunch of money. She's like, if you really want to go into stocks, though, you need to play the game. And she's like, and it is a game. And I was like, oh, trust me. It took me all 30 seconds to realize that it's just a huge ass game. It's a hard game to play too, dude. I've been the amount of times, because I'm just learning. I've only been doing this for like 2 weeks, but the amount of times where I see something, I'm like, oh, that's green and it's been doing really good. Like it's been up 20% today. I'm a buy in and just immediate dump right after that. And I'm sitting there with money and I'm like, now I gotta wait a week for it to shoot back up to where it was. Yeah, so
For sure.
Yeah.
But good on you for waiting as best you can. That's the issue though, because people don't take emotion out of it. Sometimes you are going to get on and be like, holy shit, like especially I can't even imagine if these people who have millions of dollars in their portfolios, you could get on in the morning, like that's what was happening with GameStop. People were getting on their accounts and realizing in the span of 24 hours they had lost like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like that's a huge difference, you know. On mine, I freak out. Like my portfolio is worth around 30K, and sometimes I'll get on and I'll be down 1,500 just since market open. Like I'll get up at 10 a.m. It's been open for an hour and a half, and I've lost $1,500. But then on the other side, because I have a diverse portfolio, usually it bounces out, and the next day I'll jump up quite a bit.
Right,
So.
it just kind of fluctuates in like a window kind of thing.
Yeah.
I almost feel like a smart way to do it is to like, because I feel like I have to check it all the time now. So like if I had serious money in there and I don't and stuff like that, I feel like the smart thing to do with it would be almost like to buy out while you go to sleep or trade out while you fucking go to sleep and shit like that. So you're not losing any money. But that all is dependent on whether or not your stocks are up or down.
Yeah, because there's stuff like Dogecoin after the market that one day, that's when it took its biggest jump up. So if you're in the business of selling at closing, then you could miss that massive market.
But I just like to
overnight.
be, my thing is I like to be able to watch my stocks. While I'm asleep,
I get
I
that.
can't fucking do that. So you can set limits and stuff. I don't know if you can on Coinbase. I've been using Binance for all my crypto trading. I like it a lot more than Coinbase. It's got a lot more fucking crypto on there too than Coinbase does. So
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the fee per transaction? Do you know?
it's really low. It's not like, because Coinbase is like, I put in $50 into Ethereum and it took like $2 out. And like I put that in and it's like a couple cents on fucking Binance or some shit like that. So
Yeah.
yeah. It's I need to get a little bit more into it and use it, but I'd consider checking out Binance. You added me into that one investment page, and I was like, does anybody know anything about Binance? And like I got blatantly ignored by everybody in it, so it's whatever.
Yeah. There's only like 4 or 5 people who actually talk in that group, and some days no one responds. It's just like that. And then other days it's just a fucking message.
Every time I've gone in there and like asked a question or something, someone just says something about a stock and it moves on. No one actually answered my question. It's exactly how it's gone. It goes that way for Scott too. I've seen both me and Scott post shit in there, and it's just like, fuck you guys. We're gonna keep talking about how good our stocks are doing today.
They hate you.
That's funny. I'm hoping, man. I got. Did you get it on BNGO? I think you did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping that one goes up to what it's estimated. That'd be really fat gains. So, and since like I'm literally making most of my money off the stock market, that's how that's pretty much my income. I'm not throwing events right now. So, yeah, it's nice. I need that shit to keep doing well.
Yeah, the stock market's just fun. I actually, and this is just another part of this Robinhood deal. I know that we're just kind of talking about random stuff, but there was a kid. He's 20 years old. So, and they brought this up at the trial yesterday. He ended up committing suicide after this GameStop halt thing.
I saw that.
He was $730,000 in debt. And I have no idea how he got there, but he must have bought at the highest peak of GameStop, and then it just dropped off the face of the earth when it halted.
Yeah.
And he ended up $730,000 in debt. I have no idea how much he put in. I don't know. They didn't really release all like the facts. I'm assuming just because he's young, but yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be the biggest change of this whole Robinhood thing is they're going to limit what people can and cannot buy, and then they're going to look deeper at your actual like your savings, checkings accounts, like how much you actually earn to give you like limits.
I think that's a bad example and shit like that.
It is, but
you can't hold what one person did to themselves because of a stupid decision that they fucking made.
I just think it'll end up because that'll be their like big like, see, we just did this because of safety reasons. Like I think.
Well, yeah, and that's what's even worse about it is they're using fucking the death of someone, not even just a death, a suicide of someone to fucking for their own gain. And shit like that.
At the end of the day, it's going to be the big kids get to keep playing. Yeah. And they'll use this as like if you're like a small time trader, we're going to put more restrictions because of this one case.
I will say the one thing that's good that's came out of it is I have seen a lot of people start getting into cryptocurrency and shit like that after this whole thing happened with GameStop. Like it's brought up a lot of interest in people like investing their money, and I think that's a good thing. So
yeah, 100% it is, but like it's important that people understand the risks that they're taking, you know? Yeah. And that's one thing that I think this kid probably wasn't taught anything about the volatility.
Right.
You know, like that should be part of it. Robinhood actually has, when you set up an account and ask you your experience as a trader, what they could, because they already have a system like that in place, is use that. Like, okay, if you prove that you've been doing it for a certain amount of time,
then we'll put you a little bit there, bro. You might want to repeat that.
Do what?
We lost you a little bit there. You might want to repeat that.
Okay, what I was saying was like they already have that thing when you set up your profile where it's like how experienced are you as a trader. What they could do is if you aren't experienced, just like have maybe not necessarily limitations put on your account, but like educational things like if that kid was about to spend fucking like $20,000 for example, there could be like a thing that pops up be like, hey, do you understand that this could drop at any time, blah blah blah, something like that. Right. You know, like to help educate people.
Binance does that all the time.
1,000%.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Because it is important, you know, and some people do lose a lot of money. I mean, that's how people make money, too. People make money off other people losing money, so.
And I'll tell you what, it's ridiculous how we live in, like, a capitalistic world, and, like, so many people do not understand the value of a fucking dollar, or how to invest, or how to fucking properly spend and save your money, dude. Like, it's really bad. People just don't understand that shit for some reason.
Yeah, no, I think overall, like you said, Jack, I think it's going to be, just because of how many eyes were brought on this situation itself, people getting into this market, I think it's a good thing, but if they have to do it responsibly. Like you can't just be an ass, like a jackass and be like, oh, this would be funny, let's buy in here, because then you could lose your ass. But I think as more people learn about it and actually learn how to play the stock market, it's actually pretty cool that people our age could start getting involved more.
Yeah. Dogecoin's fucking crashed though.
I am on Dogecoin. Hey baby, I'm just riding.
It's rising back up though. It was on a steady downturn there, and then all of a sudden it's starting to kick back up a little bit.
With stuff like that, you have to ride it. I mean, Bitcoin was doing that same stuff years ago, where it was like, dude, who gives a shit about Bitcoin? Dogecoin, maybe 10 years from now, we're being like, wow, look at all those idiots that didn't buy Dogecoin.
Dude,
you understand? Like the difference between Dogecoin and Bitcoin, though. Like,
Dogecoin can't actually be used for anything.
Well, like Dogecoin actually has unlimited amount of Dogecoin, which just like the dollar, well, it's going to keep decreasing its value because there's so many of them. Whereas Bitcoin is finite. Once it's all mined, it's gone. So whoever owns it will just have the value of whatever it's worth.
Right.
So like right now I own 10% of a Bitcoin. Bitcoin's currently trading at like 56,000 per. So I have like $6,000 worth of.
Tesla announced that they were taking Bitcoin and it just shot up by like $10,000 over like a 2 days period.
Talk about market manipulation. Elon Musk is just
yes.
energy.
Yeah.
It's hashtag Dogecoin and it rockets.
Yes, he's hammering stuff.
But I'll tell you what though. I actually had a dude who was day trading at this job that I was on the other day, and he told me, he's like, well, there's a silicone shortage, and the Teslas are having trouble fucking producing their batteries and stuff because of a silicone shortage. He told me, he's like, if you know any silicone manufacturers or distributors, he said buy in because they're going to skyrocket here soon. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I might need to find some of those so I can buy into those real quick.
Yeah, because that is a growing market. It's going to keep growing. But that was the issue that I decided to get my car instead of a Tesla 3 years ago, is just because of the production issue. Sometimes they have it when there's repairs, they take a while. You order a car, and like at that point, like when I looked into ordering it, like, well, you'll have it in 6 months. It's like, no, I want my new car. Like, no.
Right. They're limited on the amount, like where you can power up to. Like we have in Cincinnati that I know of, I only know of one Tesla charging spot in the entire city.
I think we have a
Meyer. Yeah. It's in Meyer.
I think we have a lot. They're just not on our side of the city.
Well, yeah, the west side compared to east side, they're probably a lot more.
There's probably a lot more on the east side. Yeah, here I've only maybe seen like 2 or 3. Yeah, I know the one that you're talking about by Meyer, but
at the same time, I'm pretty sure you can charge those in your house, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can get it set up to charge them at your house for sure. Yeah, you can have it installed. My buddy drives a Tesla, and like I fell in love with that motherfucker when I drove it. They're so much fun.
Yeah,
they're unbelievably cool. I've just sat inside of a Tesla and played with the little like iPad screen in the middle, and it's honestly so fun to just mess around with stuff, like put windows down to a certain percentage. Like it's extremely fun.
It is incredible. They make you feel so goddamn cool.
Yes.
It's like instantly way more of a douchebag and way cooler than I was 20 seconds ago.
Yes. If I bought a Tesla, I would throw out all of my sweatpants and like my gym shorts. I would only wear like suits and ties when I drive.
That's never gonna be me, dude.
I couldn't. It would be very funny if I just acted like a businessman, just driving that thing around and just had nothing to it.
Just had nothing to it.
Everybody's like, "Oh, what do you do?"
I feel like there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of people who actually do that shit. That goes back to what I was saying before about people not knowing the value of a dollar and stuff. Fucking Tiger King or whatever. That dude who like bought the zoo, like apparently had no money whatsoever and was like going to Vegas and like buying hookers and just fucking spending all kinds of money on drugs and shit like that, and he didn't have it. He was just hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt.
Respect.
Yeah, respect.
Frivolous spending, dude.
Frivolous spending. Yeah.
People, dude, like, fuck, like you said, man, way too many people are irresponsible with their money. Not me, dude. If I got to live on $20 for a week, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, Mama taught me right on that one for sure. That's one of the things that I'm really grateful for about my mom. She is one of the cheapest people that I know, and it definitely shows through in me. It definitely does.
No, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, Grandma Spilly got me collecting change when I was a kid. I still do it. I've
got with the quarters and shit like that. She used to fucking make us. This might not even be what you're talking about, but I remember she gave me a little quarter book to collect all the state quarters and shit like that when I was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually still have like these old coins she gave me. Like I've got a fucking what is it called, 5 pence or whatever, like the old English currency from like 19.
I've got
I think
a
it was
couple
like
too.
Oh shit.
I got.
Yeah.
They're so cool, dude. Like, they ain't worth shit. I've checked their value. They ain't worth shit. There was a lot of them. But, like, dude, they're still cool as fuck. Like, it's just like this ancient currency, even though it's not that long ago.
Right. It seems ancient. For sure.
I still got like Sacagawea coins and shit from the grandma
Oh,
gave me
shit.
back then. Yeah, dude.
That's
Yeah.
tight.
I had one of those 50 state things. I don't know how many I ever got.
It came in like this little cardboard book.
Yeah, I had my book
mine,
was
I
way
had
too
like
big.
48
Fuck.
out of the 50 states or whatever back when I was a kid. It was
Really?
dope. Yeah.
I don't know what I ever got.
Well,
up
my
to.
grandma got me the book, and she would keep an eye out. God bless fucking Grandma Spilly, dude.
I'm saying, dude.
She's
Shout out to Grandma
she's
Spilly.
such a saint.
Big
dude.
family shout out
She's such a
episode.
saint.
Shout out
Bro,
Grandma
she,
Spilly.
She used to give me this booklet of things, and she would like keep an eye out for certain states that she knew that I didn't have, and would save those quarters for me and give them to me as a kid.
That's
I mean,
amazing.
grandma's all time. Jack, have you ever heard about the time where like
Oh, yeah, I was
me and my
literally
parents
gonna
were
tell,
down?
yeah.
We were down in Florida on vacation and shit like that, and grandma was watching the house, and like the finals of the Heat versus
I think it was Spurs.
the Heat versus Spurs, where
Yeah.
the Heat won, was on, and him and my friends called up me and were like, "Is it cool if we go over and watch the game with Grandma Spilly?" We're in Florida, and I have like 6 of my friends watching basketball with Grandma Spilly.
we just
in
went
my
over
living
and
room.
chilled with Grandma Spilly and watched the game. It was so goddamn funny, just being like, "Hey,
Bro.
Keith, hey, we don't really have anywhere else to watch this thing. Can we just go hang out with your grandma and watch it?" And he's like, "I'm sure she would love the company," and she sure as hell did.
Yeah, go
She
for
was
it,
so
dude.
happy when we showed up. God love her.
Yeah, Grandma enjoyed the hell out of that.
That's
That old
amazing.
bat, she's gonna outlive me and Jack. I swear to God.
That ain't setting the bar too high, though, brother. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I've hit 33. I'm really proud of that mark so far. 40 is a big goal for me. But,
Take it like
dude,
5 years at a time.
Exactly. I'm not going to make anything longer than a 5-year plan. That's just getting a little crazy.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's shooting for the stars, sir. How about you tone it back?
Bro, I got to ask, man. Like, I'm sure she didn't, but, like, did she make you guys sandwiches at all? She loves making sandwiches,
She kept
bro.
offering to make food, and we were like, "You do not have to, like, please." But she did. She kept like, she would get up and
That's
she'd just
grandma
like look
shit,
in the
though.
fridge, and she'd be
I
like,
was-
"Are you sure?" And then she'd come back, and then like a quarter would go by, and she's like, "Oh, we got all this ham," and it's like, "I love you to death, Grandma, but now we're all good." Oh, it's so funny.
That's great. If I never would have moved, I was like a big grandma's boy. I used to sneak out of my bed and go sleep next to her, like downstairs in her house, like until I was like 7. I
Dude,
did that shit.
Grandma
Amazing.
used to come over our house. I was telling Rachel this last night. Grandma used to come over our house all the time when I was a kid and just sleep on the floor. She hated sleeping
Yeah.
on a couch, and that translated to me. I can't fucking stand sleeping on a couch because I used to fucking sleep on the floor with Grandma all the time. Like,
Yeah,
all
I
the
did
time.
too. That's
Yeah, bro. And plus, we're large human beings, so we're sprawlers. I told Jeff that one time when I was down at your house. He's like, "You can lay in bed with me." I'm like, "Dude, I'm a sprawler. I'm not going to be comfortable laying in that little fucking twin size bed or whatever you got." I was like, "No." Maybe if Jack's bed was open and shit, because you got that big ass king size bed, I'll cuddle up with you, bro.
Bro, we did. Remember we woke
Yeah.
up the whole house singing Creed. That
Oh,
one.
dude, Lou was so pissed, bro. Did I tell you about that? How we woke up for that show that he was having? It was his birthday party, and we had those DJs. I was talking about it earlier on the podcast and shit like that. We went to bed like we were just sitting there just fucked up because like I was like, we're not gonna drink. We're going to wait till tomorrow, and we're going to do our damn thing tomorrow and shit like that. And we end up getting fucking smashed and just staying up all goddamn night. I think he got like 40 minutes of sleep. I got like 2 hours, and fucking alarm goes off. We're supposed to go up there and get ready, and like I wake up and just start playing Creed and screaming it through
Jesus.
their house, dude. Yeah, Lou wasn't too happy,
You
but
and
you
your
know
goddamn
what? When
Creed
you got to
bangers.
get it, you got to get it, dude.
Bro, sometimes the fucking voice or the spirit of Scott Staff just takes you over,
Dude.
and you've got to belt some Creed lyrics. Man.
Oh, yeah, bro.
We're
With arms wide open, I'll show you everything. With arms
Dude, but you guys love to
Beautiful.
sing that in like Ubers when we would go, or like if somebody's driving downtown and just
I
slamming
have
those.
this thing where I just do the Creed bangers. I do it all the time. Me, Chris, and Max started that one night when we just jammed like their entire discography when Chris came home from the military.
There was probably somebody just listening now where they're like, "Oh my God, shut the fuck up for screaming in the ears."
I don't give a fuck, dude. Creed, you gotta scream Creed bangers, dude. You got to.
Amazing.
It's such a genuine. I put it in my mixtape, dude. I put that song in my fucking
That shit was
mixtape.
great. My part of your
fuck
mixtape.
it.
Huh?
That was my favorite part of your mixtape.
Well, that shouldn't have been the favorite part of the mixtape, but it was such a weak transition. I just did it to fucking put it in there and switch the tempo a little bit.
No, I loved it. I
feel like it's a good transition.
I'll tell you what, the transition out of it into Om Namo by LS Dream, bro, that was a fucking sick transition. It was slow and basic, but that song's just really good. So
I feel like everybody knows that song. Like everybody, so it kind of makes for good transition just because everybody's like, "Oh, I know what that is."
Yeah, well, I whore the shit out of it. That weekend, I was singing Creed all weekend and stuff. It became a thing. And now there's Kern policies at all our shows.
Gross.
Is that kind of like our spaghetti policy?
I don't, because I remember y'all doing something early with that, like my first Stavi Fest in 2017, but that didn't register when I was doing that. I was just being a goon fucking that night, dude. It was like 8 a.m. No one had fucking slept. Everyone was still up, and like it was just that like delirious like why the fuck haven't I slept yet? Just rambling nonsense and shit like that. And I was on fire. I was on a heater that night. Real
dude, sometimes when you're on the heater, you just don't want to go to bed. You're like, man, I am telling some good jokes right now. I'm not hanging it up yet.
Yeah, that's dude. When it comes to the weekends though and stuff like that, I don't sleep. I hate sleeping. The only reason that I ever sleep, like on the weekdays and stuff like that, is because I have to get up and I won't function right at work. Yeah. So like I have to get 8 hours of sleep. I'm one of those people who needs like 8 hours of sleep. But like when it comes to the weekends, I want to get shit done. I want to like it used to be partying a lot more. Now it's more like working on shit. Like last night, like I sat here and worked on that beat with Rachel and Matt for like 5-6 hours and went to bed. So
right.
Yeah.
I don't need 3. I never need like 8 hours of sleep. I would say if I get anywhere above like 5, I can pretty much function in any capacity.
It's this weird thing with sleeping where like if I get 6 to 8 hours, I'm good. If I get less than 4 hours, I'm good. But if I get that like 4 to 6 hours, I'm just garbage, dude. Just absolutely garbage. I've had other people tell me that they're the same way, but that's just weird to me. I think it has something to do with your sleep cycle and like
probably the amount of like REM cycles.
Yeah, when you get like 4 to 6, you like start REM sleep but don't actually finish it, and it just makes you more tired or something like that. I don't know.
There's probably some.
I'm not a
science
sleep
behind
expert.
that.
I'm a sleep paralysis expert, but
yeah. Are you now?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, sleep paralysis. Dude, you guys told me about that. You're like, have you ever had sleep paralysis? And I didn't know what it was at first, but like you guys told me about it, and I was like, yeah. I was like, I get that all the fucking time. And I've seen, you guys told me to watch The Nightmare or whatever. We talked about this on like the fucking one of our early episodes or whatever. I've seen the shadow people from that nightmare. Like, I legitimately 100%. Have. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. I've had them talk to me in English and in other languages. I've had sleep paralysis where Jack has been kidnapped from me, like in like crazy shit.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. Once you have it, and once your like mind has been awoken to it, like it starts happening.
I'm very happy that it hasn't happened terrifying. To me because I think you and Max talked about it on one of our like super early episodes.
Yeah, no, we brought it up because I randomly just brought it up. I remember that I brought it up, and you guys had no idea what the fuck I was talking about.
Yes.
People were like, what the fuck were you on, dude? And I was like, no, this is like legitimately completely sober, just sleep. You wake up sometimes, can't move your body, and sometimes you see some shit.
Well, you're not really awake either. Like, you know, like you're in
a dream
state.
Yeah.
But there's theories abound. You know, some people believe that like when you were in that more subconscious, like not your waking state, like your logic and reason state of mind, that you actually are transcending kind of like the filters that we put into everyday reality. So some people believe that the things you see exist on some plane of like existence, like in like the 5th dimension or the 12th dimension, crazy shit like that.
Yeah, I don't really buy into that shit. And I've had some where it was like I feel like I am still asleep and I'm just like picturing myself in my head laying in my bed unable to move. And then there's been other times where like I'm definitely just like my mind is up but my body still hasn't woken up, so I can't move and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything at that point. I'm just fucking laying there and can't move. It's still an incredibly terrifying fucking feeling.
Yeah, I'm happy just because it sounds like I would just be so fucking stressed out in the moment to be like, oh no, like what is happening? Like just locked up type of shit. So yeah, I'm happy that hasn't happened to me. And I also like. I like when we talk about it, I try to get it out of my head as fast as possible, just because I feel like the more I think about it, the more likely that it's going to happen.
You should go home and watch The Nightmare on Netflix.
Yeah, and then go right to sleep.
The Nightmare.
Dude, I watched it on Netflix, and I watched that on Netflix, and I was like, I already know I'm going to get it tonight, and sure as shit, dude, started falling asleep, and like it was just like, I got to keep myself up because I already feel it coming.
I'm unbelievably. I mean, I'm a massive pussy. I think people need to know that. If I watch something scary, I have to flip on something funny before I go to bed, or I'll
just anything. See, I don't think it was overly. It was a little bit more scary for like me because I've experienced it before, but I wouldn't consider that one like an overly.
It might not be super scary. I've never seen it, but just anything scary. Like we started watching. Have either of you seen the Cecil Hotel documentary on Netflix?
Dude, I don't do scary shit, man.
It's not like it's scary, but it's also it's more of a documentary on a hotel in LA. It's on Skid Row, where it's just so many weird things have happened. Like a ton of murders have happened, a ton of disappearances, a ton of like suicides. It's just a massive, like it's the shittiest hotel of all time because it's like $2 a night. It's more supposed to be for like homeless people to have just like long-term places to stay if they have at least a little money. So yeah, it's like this whole thing about a disappearing girl and where they find her like on top of the hotel. It's a whole thing, but it's just like a creepy vibe the entire time. I had to watch something else after it. I was like, I need to watch New Girl and laugh.
New Girl?
New Girl's awesome. If anybody hasn't watched New Girl's actually really awesome. Yeah.
New Girl's
I fall asleep watching New Girl all the time.
I thought that was a chick flick show.
Bro, I mean, dude, the three main characters that are guys, like outside of Jess, are all hilarious.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Fucking Nick and Schmidt are legitimately fucking hilarious throughout the whole show.
Yeah, I mean, I would say if you like, I mean, and I know you like The Office, you would like New Girl. I for the longest time, I was on the same boat as you were. I was like,
is that the one with Zoe Deschanel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's my girl. I ain't seen the show, but that's my girl.
It's a good show, man, for real. Some episodes are kind of cheesy, but by and large, like I like him. Ever since they took The Office off of Netflix, New Girl's kind of like my background noise. Either that or Always Sunny on Hulu. It's just good. Like, and it's like do what? Oh yeah, Always Sunny.
Always Sunny is amazing.
Yeah, Always Sunny is pretty funny. Man, maybe I'll have to check out New Girl. I'm not really trying to watch fucking much show. That actually the hotel one that you were just talking about sounds a little bit more interesting.
It's a documentary. It's supposed to be like a creepier vibe because it's like disappearances and is it spirits? Is it a murderer? You're not really sure.
When it's like actual shit that's happened. That's the scariest point in my life that I've ever had is I got really into like the dark web and like the stories of shit like that, and it just
what a rabbit hole.
Yeah, you find yourself going down a rabbit hole with yourself. There's like a high off scaring yourself sometimes and stuff, and like some of the stories that you read about the dark web were just absolutely fucking horrifying and like just shit that I wouldn't even want to say on stream. Like yeah, no, I'm not gonna get into it, but. Yeah, like that is because like I watched like Friday the 13th or like or Nightmare Before Elm Street or whatever, and I'm like, these are so fucking stupid. There's nothing scary about this. This is just a bunch of dumbass teenagers fucking in the woods doing dumbass teenager shit. Oh, here we go again.
No, I'm getting somebody for you. I wanted to make sure DJ Cheese got his cameo since, we talked about Crop Top and White Zen. Yeah. Little DJ Cheese has to get his cameo.
DJ Cheese.
That was the little fucking inflatable alien that he was playing in his Inner Space set. It had it just.
Do you just bring that on every set?
He took his arms and was like mixing with him and shit.
Oh, fuck yes, that's showmanship right there. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I know how to work a crowd.
If there is one thing that fucking Jack is, he's a showman, dude. You get him in his element, he's something else. That's for sure. That's for sure. But on that note, we've reached about an hour and 22 minutes. I think it might be about time to wrap this one up. We're starting to ramble a little bit, get on to some random topics and shit. So, Jack, thanks for coming on fucking episode 15 of Your House, Our Rules.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, it was really fun. I appreciate y'all having me. Good combos. This was an interesting way to spend my Saturday afternoon. A little bit off base, so
yeah, bro.
Yes, we'll definitely have you back on. You will 100% be a reoccurring for sure.
Oh yeah, we gotta get some other people because after the first two that we did, I've had some people hit me up like, "Yo, I want to come on" and shit like that. I was hoping that would happen too,
right?
So I don't have to fucking search around for
Let's
people.
Bring as many people as possible.
Yeah, but
yeah, 100%. That's super cool, and I don't know. I think this is gonna air tomorrow, right?
This will probably be on by the end of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm playing that set tonight, so anybody that hears it tonight, wish me luck virtually. So
absolutely,
hell
yes.
Yeah, man.
Good luck.
Next time we'll have to get you in
DJ
person.
Basement Trash.
Yes.
DJ Basement Trash. Whatever.
Basement fucking trash. Yes.
But with that being said, stay trashy, fans. We'll see you later.
Yup.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Later, bro. What a bitch. Can't stand that guy.
That was good.